Have you ever found yourself wondering why some people live to 100 and still walk on their own, smile with energy, and even tend a garden or visit the market each day? In certain parts of the world, aging doesn't mean growing frail. It means growing fuller, with more connection, purpose, and joy. What if the real secret to a longer, stronger life isn't found in a pill or gene, but on your plate and in your daily habits? In today's video, we're exploring the food choices and routines of the world's longest living people, what science is now confirming, and what you can start doing today to improve how you age. These ideas come straight from real people, not theories. And at the end, I'll share personal wisdom from Dr. Hiro Takayama, a legendary Japanese doctor who remained active until his passing at age 105. His secret? Surprisingly simple meals, a joyful daily rhythm, and consistent, mindful living. Before we dive in, I want to hear from you. What's one thing you're doing for your health right now? Maybe you've added more whole grains to your meals. Maybe you're drinking more water. Maybe you've just started taking morning walks. Whatever it is, drop it in the comments. It might be the exact thing someone else needs to hear today. If you find this message valuable, please hit the like button, subscribe to this channel, and share this video with someone you care about. The more we normalize healthy aging, the more it becomes accessible for everyone. Now back to the big question, what really impacts how long and how well we live? Many assume it's mostly genetics, but research tells us otherwise. Only about 25% of your lifespan is determined by your DNA. The remaining 75%, that comes from lifestyle, how you eat, move, rest, and connect. That means you have control. You can influence the quality and length of your life through the choices you make every day. In many parts of the US and similar cultures, aging is often associated with illness, high blood pressure, diabetes, fatigue, memory decline. But in places like Okinawa, Japan, Nicoya, Costa Rica, Icaria, Greece, and Sardinia, Italy, what we call blue zones, the story is completely different. People there live long, but also live well. They cook fresh meals, remain active, and stay closely connected to family and friends. Chronic disease is not inevitable in these regions. It's rare. Their secret isn't complex. It's simple foods, strong community, daily movement, low stress, and a quiet but powerful belief that life is worth living at every age. In regions where people routinely live past 90 or even 100, one pattern keeps showing up again and again. Food is not just nourishment, it's medicine, tradition, and joy. Take Okinawa, Japan. Elders here don't count calories or follow the latest diet trend. Instead, they eat mostly vegetables, sweet potatoes, tofu, rice, seaweed, and small amounts of fish. One powerful habit they follow is called hara-hachi-bu, a practice of eating until you're about 80% full. This simple pause helps prevent overeating and supports digestion, energy, and longevity. In Sardinia, Italy, meals are shared with family and made from scratch. Whole grains, beans, herbs, garden vegetables, and the occasional glass of red wine. Meanwhile, in Icaria, Greece, locals eat wild greens, lentils, goat's milk, and use olive oil liberally. These foods, rich in nutrients and prepared traditionally, reduce inflammation, regulate blood sugar, and help prevent disease. What's striking is not just what they eat, but how. Meals are relaxed. They're eaten with others. There's no rushing or multitasking while chewing. Food is a time to connect. Contrast that with the Western model. Fast food, processed snacks, oversized portions, and meals eaten alone, often in a car or in front of a screen. It's not hard to see which model supports vibrant aging and which one wears the body down. The good news? You don't need to move to a blue zone to benefit from these practices. You can recreate them wherever you are. Start small. Cook more meals at home using real ingredients. Include more plants on your plate: beans, greens, grains, and fruits. Slow down when eating. Sit down. Chew mindfully. Eat with others when you can, even if it's just one shared meal a week. And most importantly, enjoy your food. Longevity isn't about strict diets or eliminating every indulgence. It's about consistency. Little habits, repeated daily, lead to big changes over time. If you're wondering where to start, here's a tip. Focus on leafy greens. These humble vegetables are among the most nutrient-dense foods you can eat and appear regularly in blue zone diets. If there's one food that quietly plays a major role in healthy aging, it's leafy greens. These unassuming vegetables, spinach, kale, collards, Swiss chard, mustard greens, arugula, beet greens, and even dandelion leaves, show up time and again in the diets of the world's healthiest, longest-living people. They're not trendy, but they are powerful. And for people over 50, they may be one of the most important additions to your daily meals. Take a look at regions known as blue zones, places like Ikaria in Greece, Okinawa in Japan, and Sardinia in Italy. In each of these cultures, people eat greens nearly every day. In Ikaria, wild herbs and greens are foraged from the hillsides and used in savory dishes like spanakopita or hearty vegetable stews. In Okinawa, local greens such as sweet potato leaves are lightly stir-fried or simmered into soups. Sardinians frequently include Swiss chard and fennel greens in rustic meals that have been passed down for generations. Why do these communities value greens so highly? For starters, leafy greens are extremely nutrient-dense. You get a ton of nutrition with very few calories. That makes them ideal for supporting health without contributing to weight gain. Just a single serving provides vitamin A to support your immune system and protect your eyesight, vitamin C to boost healing, collagen production, and skin health, vitamin K for blood clotting and maintaining strong bones, folate, which is critical for brain and cardiovascular function. Leafy greens are also packed with fiber. This is especially important as we age. Fiber helps regulate blood sugar, lower LDL cholesterol, improve digestion, and support a healthy gut microbiome. A strong gut is increasingly recognized as the foundation of overall health, especially when it comes to inflammation, immunity, and even mental clarity. Beyond fiber, greens are rich in antioxidants, especially lutein and zeaxanthin. These protect your eyes from age-related damage like cataracts and macular degeneration, two of the leading causes of vision loss. Studies have also linked these nutrients to better cognitive performance and reduced brain fog. If you're wondering how to include more greens in your diet, start with simple steps. Add spinach to your scrambled eggs or smoothie in the morning. Stir chopped kale or mustard greens into soups, stews, or pasta sauce. Use arugula or romaine as a base for sandwiches and wraps. Sauté Swiss chard or collard greens with garlic and olive oil for a quick side dish. Don't worry if raw greens aren't your thing. Cooking greens actually helps release some of their nutrients and makes them easier to digest. Lightly steaming or sautéing is often more enjoyable for people with sensitive digestion, and pairing greens with a bit of healthy fat like olive oil, nuts, or avocado improves nutrient absorption even more. It's also a good idea to rotate your greens. Different varieties provide different antioxidants, minerals, and flavor profiles. Spinach is high in iron and folate, while kale offers more calcium. Mixing them keeps your meals interesting and your nutrient intake more balanced. Most importantly, don't stress about being perfect. Aging well isn't about cutting out every treat. It's about building consistent habits. Adding greens to your meals 4 to 6 times per week can reduce your risk of chronic illness, improve your digestion, support your eyesight, and give you more energy, naturally. Greens are easy to find, budget-friendly, and incredibly versatile. If there's one food that deserves a permanent place in your kitchen, this is it. For thousands of years, humans have used fermentation not just to preserve food, but to promote health. Long before refrigeration or supplements existed, people around the world were making yogurt, sauerkraut, kimchi, miso, tempeh, kefir, and more. Foods rich in beneficial bacteria that support gut health, brain function, and even immune strength. In many Blue Zone regions, fermented foods are part of the daily diet. In Okinawa, miso soup is a staple, often served at breakfast. In Ikaria, Greece, homemade goat's milk yogurt provides live cultures that support digestion. In Korea, kimchi, a spicy, fermented cabbage dish, is served with nearly every meal. These foods may vary in flavor and preparation, but they share a common thread. They help balance the gut microbiome. So what is the gut microbiome and why is it important, especially as we age? Your gut is home to trillions of bacteria, some good, some bad. When in balance, the good bacteria help break down food, absorb nutrients, regulate inflammation, and keep harmful microbes in check. A healthy gut also supports the production of neurotransmitters like serotonin, which influences mood, sleep, and mental clarity. But over time, stress, antibiotics, processed food, and sugar can disrupt this balance. When that happens, we may experience bloating, indigestion, fatigue, brain fog, and even weakened immunity. Emerging research also links poor gut health to issues like anxiety, depression, memory loss, and chronic inflammation. That's where fermented foods come in. They are naturally rich in probiotics, beneficial bacteria that replenish the gut and restore balance. Adding fermented foods to your diet is one of the simplest, most natural ways to support digestion, immunity, and mental well-being. Some common fermented foods include yogurt with live active cultures, kefir, a tangy fermented milk drink, sauerkraut, fermented cabbage packed with probiotics and fiber, kimchi, a spicy Korean side made from cabbage and radish, miso, a fermented soybean paste used in soups and sauces, tempeh, a firm fermented soybean product that's rich in protein. You don't need large quantities. Even a few tablespoons of sauerkraut or a small cup of kefir a few times per week can make a difference. If you're just starting, go slowly. Your body may need time to adjust to the added live cultures. And make sure to choose unpasteurized and unsweetened versions, as heat and sugar can reduce probiotic benefits. Want a tip? Pair fermented foods with prebiotics, fiber-rich foods like garlic, onions, leeks, asparagus, and bananas. Prebiotics feed the good bacteria and help them thrive. Together, they create a healthier internal environment. In Blue Zone cultures, fermented foods are enjoyed not as a health trend, but as a normal part of meals. They're often homemade, shared with family, and integrated into daily routines. There's no fanfare, just simple wisdom passed down through generations. Beyond gut health, people who regularly consume fermented foods report improved energy, better digestion, fewer colds, and even lighter moods. The gut-brain connection is real, and feeding your gut means feeding your mind too. Fermented foods don't require a big change in your diet. Start with small additions. Add a spoonful of sauerkraut to your lunch, enjoy miso soup as a snack, or swap your dessert for plain yogurt with cinnamon and berries. These tiny additions have powerful ripple effects. In a world filled with processed options, returning to these ancient, living foods may be one of the most modern things you can do for your long-term health. Grains are a part of most people's diets, whether it's toast in the morning, rice at lunch, or pasta for dinner. But the type of grain you eat can make a huge difference, especially as you age. One of the simplest, most powerful dietary shifts you can make is swapping refined grains for whole grains. In most Blue Zone cultures, whole grains are a daily staple. In Sardinia, meals include barley soup or whole grain bread. In Ikaria, it's rye or wheat, baked fresh with seeds and olive oil. In Nicoya, Costa Rica, corn tortillas are made the traditional way, preserving the whole kernel. These grains haven't been stripped of their nutrients. They still contain all the parts nature intended. So what exactly is a whole grain? Whole grains contain three parts: bran, the fiber-rich outer shell; germ, the nutrient-packed core; endosperm, the starchy center. Refined grains like white rice or white flour have had the bran and germ removed, leaving only the starchy endosperm. This process strips away most of the fiber, vitamins, minerals, and healthy plant compounds. Why does this matter for your health? Whole grains are high in fiber, which helps keep your digestion regular and your blood sugar stable. Fiber also supports heart health by lowering LDL, bad cholesterol. Just as importantly, fiber helps you feel full, so you're less likely to overeat, a critical benefit as metabolism naturally slows with age. Whole grains also contain B vitamins for energy, magnesium for muscle and nerve function, and antioxidants that reduce inflammation. Studies show that people who eat more whole grains have lower rates of heart disease, type 2 diabetes, certain cancers, and even cognitive decline. Let's look at some examples of healthy whole grains. Brown rice, quinoa oats, especially steel-cut or old-fashioned, barley buckwheat, bulgur, whole wheat, in bread, pasta, or baked goods. Millet, farro. These grains have texture, flavor, and real staying power. They don't cause the blood sugar spikes and crashes that white bread or sugary cereals do. Here are some practical ways to add more whole grains to your day. Start your morning with oatmeal topped with fruit and nuts. Swap white rice for brown, wild, or black rice and stir-fries in bowls. Use whole grain bread for sandwiches or toast. Try quinoa or barley in place of pasta or potatoes. Look for cereals with 100% whole grain on the label. Be cautious with marketing terms. Multigrain or wheat doesn't always mean whole grain. Check the ingredient list. Whole grain should be the first word. Also, don't stress about making a perfect switch overnight. It's okay to enjoy white rice or pasta sometimes. The goal is to shift the balance so that most of your grains are whole. In blue zone regions, grains are often prepared slowly and shared with others. A pot of barley soup or a slice of homemade bread becomes more than food. It's part of a rhythm that supports connection, digestion, and nourishment. Even if you don't change anything else, upgrading your grains can have a major impact. Over weeks and months, these small daily choices add up. You may notice steadier energy, better digestion, and fewer cravings. In the kitchens of the world's longest living people, one ingredient appears again and again: olive oil. Whether it's drizzled over vegetables in Sardinia, simmered into soups in Ikaria, or used to dress fresh greens in Crete, this golden oil is more than a culinary staple. It's a medicinal food. Unlike refined seed oils or butter, olive oil, especially extra virgin olive oil, is loaded with healthy fats and antioxidants that nourish your body from the inside out. And for people over 50, it may be one of the smartest ingredients to use daily. So what makes olive oil so powerful? First, it's rich in monounsaturated fats, the kind of fat that supports heart health by lowering LDL, bad cholesterol, and raising HDL, good cholesterol. This helps reduce the risk of heart disease, stroke, and high blood pressure, conditions that become more common with age but are not inevitable. But olive oil isn't just fat. It also contains polyphenols, powerful plant compounds that fight inflammation and oxidative stress, two key drivers of aging and disease. These polyphenols act like tiny bodyguards for your cells, helping to protect them from damage caused by toxins, stress, and time. Recent studies show that regular olive oil consumption may also support brain health. Diets high in olive oil, like the Mediterranean diet, are associated with a lower risk of cognitive decline, Alzheimer's, and memory loss. That's no coincidence. The same properties that support the heart also nourish the brain, improving focus, circulation, and clarity. Dr. Hiro Takayama, the Japanese longevity expert we mentioned earlier, reportedly began each morning with a spoonful of extra virgin olive oil mixed with orange juice. He believed it supported his heart, digestion, and even skin health, and lived well beyond 100 with energy and purpose. Here are a few simple ways to use more olive oil in your daily life. Drizzle it over steamed or roasted vegetables. Use it as a base for homemade salad dressings. Sauté greens, garlic, or onions in it. Add a spoonful to soups or whole grains for extra richness. Mix it with lemon juice and herbs as a marinade. Pro tip: always choose extra virgin olive oil, EVOO, which is the least processed and contains the highest amount of antioxidants. Look for oils in dark glass bottles, stored away from heat and light, and use within a few months of opening for best quality. Avoid deep frying with olive oil at high temperatures. It has a lower smoke point than other oils. Use it for light cooking, dressings, or finishing dishes after cooking. 1 or 2 tablespoons a day is plenty to experience the health benefits. And remember, quality matters more than quantity. A small amount of good olive oil is far better than large amounts of highly refined oils or margarine. When combined with vegetables, beans, whole grains, and leafy greens, olive oil becomes part of a powerful foundation for aging well. It adds richness, flavor, and most importantly, life-supporting nutrition. In many Blue Zone communities, meals made with olive oil are shared with others, enjoyed slowly, and made with love. That's part of the magic too. How we eat is just as important as what we eat. Next, we'll look at some of the tiniest but mightiest foods on Earth: nuts and seeds, and how they deliver massive health benefits with just a small daily serving. Sometimes the smallest foods pack the biggest punch. Nuts and seeds are the perfect example. Just a small handful a day can help protect your heart, support brain function, and even reduce inflammation. For those looking to age with strength, clarity, and energy, these little powerhouses are worth including regularly. In Blue Zone communities, nuts and seeds show up in many forms. In Nicoya, Costa Rica, people snack on pumpkin seeds or add ground nuts to traditional corn-based meals. In Sardinia, almonds are often enjoyed with fruit or mixed into rustic breads. In Loma Linda, California, many long-living residents eat a wide variety of nuts daily as part of a plant-based lifestyle. Why are they so valuable? Nuts and seeds are full of healthy fats, especially omega-3s and monounsaturated fats, which help reduce inflammation and support cardiovascular health. They're also packed with plant-based protein, which helps maintain muscle mass, something that naturally declines with age but is vital for balance, mobility, and independence. They contain vitamin E, magnesium, zinc, and a host of antioxidants that protect cells and support the immune system. Walnuts, for example, are especially good for the brain, while flax and chia seeds offer fiber and omega-3s that support both digestion and mood. Here are some simple ways to add nuts and seeds into your routine. Sprinkle sunflower or pumpkin seeds on salads or oatmeal. Blend walnuts or almonds into smoothies. Add chia or flax seeds to yogurt or baked goods. Enjoy a handful of raw mixed nuts as a satisfying snack. Portion size matters. Nuts are calorie-dense, so aim for about a small handful, 1 ounce per day. Choose raw or dry-roasted varieties without added salt or sugar for maximum benefit. Soaking certain nuts, like almonds or walnuts, can make them easier to digest and may improve nutrient absorption. While adding healthy foods matters, so does cutting back on what drains us. Processed snacks, sugary drinks, and excessive salt or refined carbs can cancel out many of the benefits of good nutrition. Even reducing these foods slightly can lead to clearer thinking, better sleep, and more energy. But food alone isn't enough. As we've seen throughout this series, the longest-living people don't just eat well. They move naturally, sleep deeply, connect regularly, and live with purpose. That brings us back to Dr. Hiro Takayama, the Japanese doctor who lived to 105. His meals were light, his days were filled with purpose, and his approach to life was grounded in curiosity and kindness. He didn't chase trends, he stuck to simple habits that made him feel alive. And that's the lesson. You don't need perfection. You need small, meaningful changes, done consistently over time. Start where you are. Add a green to your plate, call a friend, take a 15-minute walk. Your next chapter can be vibrant, strong, and joyful, no matter your age. Thank you for watching. If this series helped you, please like, subscribe, and share it with someone you care about. Here's to living fully, with strength and peace, every step of the way.